whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora, tēnā koutou e te iwi. Welcome back to
Taringa, episode Tua Whitu.
I've lost count because
Yeah.
we've just been going along so well. And you can hear there's another voice in the room laughing. So I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome taku tuahine, Sophronia. What do people call you as a nickname?
Just, they either call me Soph or Frona.
Frona.
Frona. Yeah.
Frona. Now, I like saying your whole name because that's cool, Sophronia. Nau mai e te tuahine, ki wainganui i tēnei hui a tātou, tarei, Taringa. Ko tēnei marama, ko te marama o Akuhata. We're in August, and August is
Māori Music Month.
And I'm a Māori, and I love music, so this month must
Sort
be
of
about
like
me.
our month.
Oh, our month, right.
Our month.
Collective,
Yeah, I like
yes.
that.
Whanaingatanga. Ai, nō reira kia ora tātou, and tēnā koe, Soph, for coming in today. And we're going to have a little bit of a kōrero rero neha.
Aye.
About, maybe not just about Māori Music Month, and it's a really cool kaupapa, but waiata in general, so let's go with the wairua,
Tukuna ki te aho.
Awe. I think I put my own awe in there. This week we've got Once Upon a Taima. And you remember do you remember, Taria, what our last Once Upon a Taima was?
Yes. We had Maui me te rā.
Maui me te rā. So we had Maui me te rā, Maui and the sun, o tama i te rā. And this week, in connection with our kōrero with Kahu Rōpata, we will be telling I don't like to say the story.
Yeah. I didn't like that word.
No, what would you call it? The history, I guess.
History, origins.
Yeah, origins of, and I'll say, the most renowned haka, because it is.
Yeah.
Kamate. So, we've got a few more characters in this one. We've enjoyed putting this one together. Nō reira, whakarongo mai.
Once upon a taima, the great rangatira Te Rauparaha was ready to set out from his kāinga, his home in Kāwhia, to look for support as his people, Ngāti Toa, were constantly in warfare with other neighbouring tribes who longed for Kāwhia moana. Rich with mātaitai such as pipi and tuangi or cockles, Kāwhia also had a good supply of fish, and its harbour opened out to the great ocean where more kai could be gathered or caught. Spiritually, Kāwhia also had great mana, as that is where the waka Tainui came to finally land after its great voyage from Hawaii. Now, 2 stone pillars, Hani and Puna, mark the final resting place of Tainui.
Te waka ki te urunga, te waka ki te moenga, te waka ki te takotoranga I takotoa I te waka.
Ngāti Toa Rangatira were the kaitiaki of Tainui waka and Kāwhia moana, and were more than willing to put up a fight to hold on to Kāwhia, because above all else, Kāwhia was their kāinga, where their fires had burned for hundreds of years. With all this in mind, Te Rauparaha spoke to his people.
E haere anau ki te kimi haumi mō tātou. I'm going to get support from our allies who will help us fight and settle old scores with our enemies.
Wai tātou hei āwhina ki te whawhai. Who will help us to fight?
Asked his people. Te Rauparaha answered.
Firstly, I'll go to our whanaunga, my mother's people, Ngāti Raukawa at Maunga Tautari, and Whare Puhunga. Then I shall journey on to the great lake of Taupo, to our relations, Ngāti Tū Wharetoa, where Te Heuheu Mananui is. I may find support for us there.
And so, Te Rauparaha set out from his kāinga on his mission to find allies to aid him in his cause. In doing so, he would have to cross through the tribal boundaries of Ngāti Maniapoto and Waikato, tribes who had been fighting with his own people for quite some time. Even though he would traverse the tracks reserved for those travelling in peace, he would still have to be careful and alert. And more so too, as this was a one-man mission that he would have to do in stealth, so as not to arouse any unwanted attention.
Me haere hauiru ngai te ara o tū takarerewa. I must be wary, vigilant, and ready.
The cool and pristine waters of Tauponui Aotearoa glistened clear and true. Yonder, the sacred mountains of Ngaruahoi, Tongariro, and Ruapehu stood staunch, symbolic of the physical and spiritual mana of chiefs. Te Rauparaha was well aware that he needed the support of such chiefs, like Te Heuheu Mananui, whose residence was at Te Rapa, on the southern shores of Taupo.
E heu, kua hau tēnei kua tai atu ki a koe. I have come, O wise Te Heuheu, to seek your counsel and support. Nei taku ringa e toro atu ana.
Unbeknown to Te Rauparaha, knowledge of his mission had reached the section of the people of Te Heuheu, Ngāti Te Aho, who had an unsettled score with Te Rauparaha, and they would be arriving at Te Rapa. The fate of Te Rauparaha hinged on whether the wise old chief Te Heuheu would give him forewarning or not.
E raha, your friends are few, and your enemies are many. My counsel to you is this: leave now with haste. Haere hoatu, before your visit becomes your undoing. Ngāti Te Aho are hungry for your blood, and they are close. They will not be satisfied until your blood stains the blades of their patu.
Te Rauparaha knew he needed to leave Te Rapa quickly.
E heu, where shall I find sanctuary?
Hurry to Motu Opuhi raha, to Ngāti Hikairo, to Te Whairerangi. His cloak will shelter you.
Te Rauparaha understood that Mananui was in a predicament, as he was related to Ngāti Te Aho, and he would not betray them by hiding Te Rauparaha. Regardless of this, Mananui was also related to Te Rauparaha, hence he warned Te Rauparaha. He took flight to the fortress of Motuopuhi at Rotoaira. Ngāti Te Aho were now not long behind him, and heard he was heading in the direction of Rotoaira.
Kia horo e hoama. Raha is nearly in our grasp. He is so close. I can smell his flesh. Our bellies will be full of him soon. Then we will have vengeance.
Within their war party, they also had a powerful tohunga with potent karakia that he was using to search out Te Rauparaha.
Whai atu te ito, kia arumia te ito, kia here here a te ito, hei kai māku te ito. Whai a kia mauwhiwhia, kia maurawea.
With Ngāti Te Aho chasing close behind, Te Rauparaha arrives at Motuopuhi. The calm-looking waters of Rotoaira did nothing to calm him in his flight.
Great Te Wharerangi, as Te Heuheu has advised, I come to you in need of your cloak to shelter me. Ngāti Te Aho are nearly upon me, and only my blood will satisfy their hunger for revenge.
E raha, death follows you, and you come seeking life here with my people. You have brought danger to Motuopuhi and Ngāti Hikairo.
It is true, Te Wharerangi, but I come as kin. I ask again, can your cloak hide me? Or will you cast your guest out who comes in a time of need?
Te Rangikoia signalled that she would sit on the opening of the pit. She knew her husband's motive. The kumara would have a nulling effect on the karakia of the tohunga that would be diminished further by her mana, the mana only a woman had.
E raha, kia horo, hurry! Ngāti Te Aho at the gate of the pā! Quick, e huna I a koe, get in the pit, now!
The Ngāti Te Aho tohunga chanted his karakia to search out Te Rauparaha as they approached the Tū Watawata, the palisade.
Whākina mai taku ito, kia kitea taku ito, hei kai māku te ito.
Te Rauparaha knew the tohunga was searching for him with his karakia, so he too chanted a karakia to aid Te Rangikoia in keeping his whereabouts a secret.
Ki ka kauana kai wani a taku tara kai tarawa hia kai teru ai te kero.
The rangatira of Ngāti Te Aho spoke.
Te Wharerangi, we know Te Raupara is here. Give him to us.
Te Rauparaha heard the chief of Ngāti Te Aho. He was worried he would be found out.
Ka mate, I shall die, I shall die.
Te Wharerangi answered.
O koutou hamuti. Yes, Raha was here, but he has gone.
Te Rauparaha chanted.
Ka ora, I live.
The tohunga chanted with his karakia, and still the rangatira of Ngāti Te Aho was not convinced Te Rauparaha was not in the pā.
Te wharerangi, e pono o kupu. Ai o, it's true.
Again, Te Rauparaha was worried that he would be discovered, or that Te Wharerangi would give him up.
Come mate. Will I die? Will I die?
Te Wharerangi was angered that his mana should be challenged.
E ki. Ko wai koe. Raha has gone. Now like him, make yourself scarce, or else suffer the consequence. Tua Whitu, go!
Kaora. I live.
When it was safe, Te Rangi Koea moved from the entrance of the pit. Te Rauparaha emerged, saying what has now become the most renowned haka.
Tēnei te tangata puhuruhuru. Nā i tiki mai whakawhiti te rā. Upane, kaupane, whiti te rā.
And so through the gratitude of Te Wharerangi and Te Rangi Koea, the sun did shine upon Te Rauparaha for many, many, many more years to come. So that was our kōrero about the origins of kamate.
Kamate, kaora. Fine, what about those voices in there?
Oh, I know, I was like, hidden talents in these.
Absolutely. I was getting goosebumps from Te Rauparaha's voice. Yeah.
Oh, Taima.
Yeah. And now big ups to the help we had in that recording of Once Upon a Time. I hope you all got something out of that kōrero. And I just want to put out there too is there's lots of versions of that particular narrative. I'll call it a narrative actually. And depending on whether you hear it from Ngāti Tūwharetoa or from the Te Rauparaha, from Ngāti Toa, might be some little differences in there. So I just want to acknowledge that and make sure everybody's conscious of that. Yeah. So hoi anō, e mihi atu ana ki a tātou katoa, and hope you enjoyed that instalment of Once Upon a Taima.
And also this week we have Sophronia, and to talk to us a little bit about Māori Music Month, which is this month, August, coming to the end of August, and a little bit about a documentary she wrote. But we'll hear a little bit more about that from Sophronia. Tēnā koe. Kia ora, Soph.
Kia ora, Taringa.
So a couple of months ago, one of your Rangahau projects was on kōpai that got put out. Can you talk to us a little bit about your kōpai?
About Songs of Rangahau?
Yeah, your Songs of Rangahau.
Songs of Rangahau. Yeah. So I suppose the vision for Songs of Rangahau was set in the contextualisation of Rangahau as Indigenous inquiry within Te Wānanga o Aotearoa. And we wanted to explore what inquiry looks like in relation to the old age practice of composition, writing or waiata, and also very contemporary music or song. And there are 11 songs on Songs of Rangahau. The majority of them are in Te Reo Māori.
Too much.
Yeah, and many of them talk about traditional knowledge through the lens of the composer and their contemporary realities, and exploring ways that we can bring that knowledge through as a hoa haere or as a guide.
Cool.
To ensure that we continue to connect back to our tupuna, that we continue to perpetuate our unique cosmological stories, pūrākau, but also the unique worldviews that we as Māori, and then also we from meaning each of the variations connected to iwi and hapu, ensuring that those knowledges continue to live, and using the medium of composition, waiata or song.
And because I listened to a couple of the songs on the album and they were beautiful. One of the songs that I really liked was one of your waiata, Okuta Bairu. Can you talk to us a little bit about that waiata?
Sure. So that particular composition was written for me, and it was written by one of my whanaunga, and his name is John Turi.
Ah, yes.
I know John.
Yeah,
Kia ora,
we all
John,
know
if you're
John.
listening. I knew John. Ka pai.
And we were at a Rangahau writing retreat in Mount Maunganui and made the connection that we actually had a whakapapa to each other. And then it was through that kōrero that he said that he would write a composition for me. And so that particular composition talks about 3 significant mana wahine. I'm trying to think of the song. Hene paketia.
And these are your
Māku te rangi.
tupuna.
Yes, and these are my tupuna. Each of them were significant in the sense that in very different ways. But if I think of Airani Te Nahu, she was at the forefront of the movement to have women's voices acknowledged in the court. So she was trained in wānanga. In the particular wānanga, she learnt about the histories of kahununu. So she was often consulted about boundaries of land, names of particular landmarks. In Hui, she was often consulted on issues regarding land and issues regarding the iwi. Yeah, and so it's the song or the waiata is about acknowledging that Māori women have always played significant roles in their whānau, their hapu, their iwi, which challenges a lot of the, I suppose, Western discourse. In a sense, it's about talking back to that as well and reclaiming who we are within the context of our own histories. So for me, within the histories of Kaununu. Saying these are my nenes, so I always call them my nenes. This is what my nanny's done.
Yeah.
And therefore, these names that you call me or these behaviours that you say I should follow don't align with who I naturally am. I suppose it's part of a tino rangatiratanga obligation as well.
Thinking about composition and the realm or culture of Māori in composition. Traditionally, most of the composers were wahine as well. And I roto throughout all iwi of Aotearoa and Te Waipuunamu. It was mostly women who composed the waiata, not just waiata, haka as well. And I think that's another misconception that men done all the haka, but a lot of the haka and some of the real gory ones too were composed by the wahine of the time.
You're from Ngāti Kahungunu, right? One of the tupuna, arongo mai wahine, no roto i a Ngāti Kahungunu. And Prane just told me a couple of minutes ago that you did a documentary on that waiata. Can you talk about that?
Sure, yeah. Yes, so firstly, on my papa's side, so my papa has whakapapa tū rā kaipaka, nuhaka, and te mahia and whakaki. When I was living in Hawaii, we, meaning all Māori that lived in Hawaii, in a little town called Laie, we would get together and we would sing our waiata from home. And it was a way of us connecting to each other, but also connecting to home. And one of the waiata we would sing was Rongo Mai Wahine. And there was a Hawaiian, I think, a leader in Laie, and William Wallace was his name.
William Wallace?
Yeah, William Wallace.
Not the Scottish William Wallace.
What's that? He had whakapapa to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to.
And his wife was Māori. His wife was Māori, Auntie Nikki. He would get angry when we would sing that waiata. And so one day I had just had a kōrero with him. I said, "Oh, Uncle, this song is is really significant to who we are, because we're talking about one of our ancestors, and we're celebrating her and kahununu and that union. And he said that what he felt upset about was the fact that the tune that had been used for that song belonged to a Hawaiian mele called Kaulana Napua, and that sometimes it's called the Stone Eaters. And it was written at the time that Hawaii was overthrown. So the American businessmen conspired with American military, and they held the queen. Her name was Queen Liliuokalani. They held her captive in her palace for a period of time until she gave up. They say she abdicated the sovereignty of Hawaii to America. But the mele says that we would rather eat stone than give up our land. It's a mele of protest. It's a mele of acknowledging the love that the people also had for their queen. Because the reason why she would not go to war with America was because she knew that people could not fight against the American military. So the documentary that I created was about exploring that. It was about acknowledging their queen, Queen Liliuokalani, and trying to build a bridge between Kanaka Māori and Māori, and mending the mamai, the pain that it had created. So I went home, spoke to some of my kaumātua and kuia, and they talked about rongo mai wahine and significant areas, that she would have done a lot of her mahi. So one of the mahi that she would do was oversee any practices regarding fishing. So she would do karakia. She would also ensure that not too much food was taken. You know, all of those things. Always looking forward to the future, whilst also taking care of the people. And then I had the opportunity to interview Manulani and Auli'i, who is a kumuhula, so similar to, I suppose, like Paraone, someone that we acknowledge as a leader in kapahaka, composition, dance, and that's what Auli'i is. And they talked about contemporary ideas around the use of kōtiro Māori. And so they said that as times have shifted and changed, there was more of an understanding. One of the things is that it wasn't about acknowledging the origins of that tune, acknowledging their queen, so that when we spoke about our queen, Rongo Mai Wahine, it was done in the right way.
I've actually had, well, not words, but with some of our whanaunga from Hawaii who have questioned the use of the waiata. I'm very careful when I'm over there. But now I've found there's a bit of a shift because they have a bit more of an understanding of why Tommy Taurima penned the song and chose the tune which was associated with their queen or te pairu. And correct me if I'm wrong, that he saw that Rongo Mai Wahine was looked upon by her people as a queen and leader. So that sort of, he justified using the tune. And it was more of a way to acknowledge also the mana of queen. So it was more about the whanaungatanga as opposed to pinching a tune. Which we're pretty good at doing. Māori, I think that's a part of Māori composition, both traditional and contemporary. If you look to a lot of some of our, even our pre-Pākehā or pre-European, the number one motete of the time would be taken by another iwi, and they would actually change the words. So it's something we've been doing for a very, very long time, both in waiata and haka. Some of the haka today you would think belong to this iwi actually don't. But they've become the iwi that haka is recognised as belonging to. And then of course we come up into the contemporary times and, you know, tuini ngā wai and te puea and apirana. But I think probably more so tuini ngā wai
I agree.
for using the tunes.
Contemporary tunes.
Yeah,
of
because
that time.
the rangatahi were into the tunes and we still do that today.
Yeah.
Neha.
Yeah.
So I find that very interesting. With the waiata, back to Rongo Mai Wahine. Yeah, just an acknowledgement out to our Rongo Mai Wahine relations out there if you're listening. Or we don't want to, because I know Rongo Mai Wahine see themselves as Rongo Mai Wahine.
Yes.
Not kahungunu.
Yeah.
So I just acknowledge all our Rongo Mai Wahine whanaunga out there. Tēnā koe te katoa.
So going back to the album, where can we find that?
Good question, Tariel. So it is available on Spotify and iTunes. Just type in Songs of Rangahau.
Cool, Songs of Rangahau e te iwi.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm testing it now at the iwi on my phone.
It's really there.
Yeah.
It is there.
I got the Spotify. I don't know about you fellas, I got Spotify Pro.
Yes,
Which means you can download and listen to Waiata when you're not online.
And it's also on SoundCloud.
Oh, yes. When you look for Taringa on SoundCloud, the Songs of Rangahau album is actually in the same place. Right there, e te whānau. Nearly. Thank you so much for coming along today and talking to us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, about... What do we talk about? Gad.
We're talking
All
about
the stuff
ourselves.
we talk about. Everything.
Māori music.
Māori music.
Composition.
Yeah.
Waiata.
No, thank you so much. Some beautiful kōrero came out today. I've learned heaps today, so I hope everyone else has.
Me too.
Yeah.
I always take something away from our sessions we have. So e tautoko ana i ngā mihi a Tariao kia koe, te tuahine.
Yeah.
Mou i haramai. Te mokopuna Rongo Mai Wahine, Rākai Pāka, me Ngāti Kahungunu whānui. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Kia ora korua.
Tēnā pai rā wāti te rā kōrero e mihi tōna ana kia koe, Sophronia. And I liked the whole kōrero, but I was thinking about the differences in composing, particularly with the situation Te Rauparaha was in, and how something that was a life and death situation became a haka. A haka was born from it. It presented another angle of how a composition is made or born, as opposed to the kōrero about Uncle Tommy and then your journey too. I roto i te ao o te waiata. And saying that, we're going to launch into our waiata o te wiki, which is...
Rongo Kōtiro Māori e.
Kōtiro Māori e. Tika. I think we missed the title on that. I mean, we just call it Rongo Mai Wahine because of who is in the waiata.
Yeah, the song's about, eh?
Nō reira e te iwi, kia are mai o koutou taringa ki tēnei waiata. Kōtiro Māori, a.k.a. Rongo Mai Wahine. Composed by Tommy Taurima, Ahorangi Tommy Taurima, neha. Rongo Mai Wahine, Ngāti Kahungunu. And the tune, as we discussed originally, is from the song Kaulana Nā Pua, or the Stone Eaters Eating Song, Ai Pōhaku, from our whanaunga in Hawaii. Nō reira, whakarongo mai.
Kōtiro Māori e takuri pene pā. O makawe hoki ngangaru a te tā. Te pare huia he tohu rangatira e. Rongo mai wahine no nuku taurua Rongo hea toa tahua i te whenua katoa. Ai atu te kohimu himu ki a kahungunu e. Oi te wahine whakakapakapa te manua nui e. Rongo mai wahine no nuku taurua Ki ake kake ake ki te mahia ki te atana hia hia au e rongo mai Haere mai ta maruku hianga pawatanga roa Rongo mai wahine o nuku taurua Atahi karua nā haura ka hungunu tangata whakane Nā te pāua au e raru ana koe rongo mai Maranga mai e hine ka haere taua Maramatea o nuku taurua Watahi karua, rongo mai wahine Rongo mai wahine
That was like one of my favourite songs. Man, I think actually every song's my favourite song.
Depends on mood
I
you're
said
in,
that
eh?
like, every week.
Nah, well, I have to say, I remember when I learnt that song.
Yeah.
Here I go again. But I actually remember when I learnt that song, I was at primary. And it's still as cool as it was then when I first learnt it.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I know this sounds a bit cliche, but it is. It's actually a timeless waiata. And when I sing it, it brings me great joy. I feel really, really happy when I'm singing it. And I can imagine rongo mai wahine as I'm singing the waiata and the stories associated with her.
Yeah.
And her relationship with Kahungunu. It's one of those songs that stirs emotions and feelings and whakaaro thoughts in me when I hear it and when I sing it.
Yeah, cool. So that's us this week.
Yep. Big week. We had on Taringa. We've been to Kawhia. We've been over to Taupo. Following Te Rauparaha.
Yeah.
And then wrapped up with our kōrero with Sophronia about our waiata Māori, Māori Music Month, and our waiata.
Yeah.
So ko māua tēnei mihi atana kia koutou. Māua me tēnei kōtiro Māori tariao.
Yes, kōtiro Māori.
Ai, tēnā rau atu koutou katoa i o koutou Taringa. And just another plug too for that album.
The Songs of Rangahau album.
Songs of Rangahau album, where you can find on
Spotify,
iTunes,
and SoundCloud. Yeah, so that's where we can find it.
And aren't you a singer on there, Tariao?
Yes, yep.
There you go, e te iwi. All the more reason for you to go and search it out and listen to those great waiata. Also, that's where you'll find Taringa on those same platforms. Hoi anō, e mihi atana kia koutou katoa. Thank you all again for listening. We're getting more and more followers of Taringa, which is great. Thank you for your messages and your whakaaro. And our Facebook page is up now. Whoa! So put a post up or share it. Yeah. And we'll be generating some kōrero on there for you to interact with. And have any whakaaro, post it up. Go hard. Bueno, tēnā koutou. See you later. Yep. Hei ko nā mai. Tahuri mai ki yo, whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing at the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira whakarongo pi kari mai. Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body. Taringa. He mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe. Taringa, whakarongo mai.